events. How you wield your power is more important than you even having the power. I'm just saying, when you try to leave peacefully, so many times. Your emergency is my emergency. I was going to go somewhere. I have plans. Not anymore. Yes, I will park right here in the handicap parking space. Sure will. Okay, I don't need to have my wipers on right now, so I'm just sitting waiting for my food to get ready. But anyway, not eat oxtail and expect your lip color to stay the same if you have on any type of coverage on your lips. I know. Atmospheric pressure is what I believe it is. Anyway, it hurts. It hurts us. Ah. So the hypothesis is, excuse me. Black is a color of protection. And I think the heart is actually green. My favorite color. Even if I could. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. It's raining. Raindrops are falling on my head. Me?
No, yeah, you too, Mom.
You feel like you're gonna be on big back when you people still walking around saying the N-word. It's not hard to treat people the way I want to be treated. At the end of the day, more so than not, nobody cares about your reasoning for being a POS to them anymore. Like when I was younger, oh my God, but yeah, it's such a beautiful day. It is such a beautiful day. Oh, I put the phone down. Okay. You shouldn't have to hurt anyone to prove anything to anyone else. It's okay to say, you know what? It's tempting, but I can't indulge because I promised someone else. And I actually, man, I have to keep my word. Like I'd be letting my damn self down if I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Like there's everything that glitters ain't gold. Everything that glitters is not gold. Because I'm not being ugly. See, listen to me talking to myself like how some men and women have they have the task that they'll put before you for you to prove that you're loyal and to prove that you mean it when you say you love me or when you say that you want you want a situation with me, you want a relationship with me. What I'm really saying is you don't have to do that. Because true love, somebody that really, really loves you would never ever ask you to injure anyone. They wouldn't want to see you. First of all, they don't want to be hurt by you, but they don't want to see you hurt anyone else. Not even because of what it would do to that person, but for what the guilt that you would feel from committing, a bad act, for you doing something bad. Like the person that really loves you saves you from making, poor decisions. They would never ever refer you back, call him or her and say da 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know if I could truly respect you if I could just wave my magic wand, and make you, like, I can make you do something. I can make you hurt someone. I don't even see that as appealing. I don't want someone that can be controlled like that. They don't care. So anyway, and as you can feel like you've fallen in love or back in love with someone, but in a relationship, you were supposed to be sealing up those cracks so that the person that was trying to build with you, that said they were trying to build with you, then maybe you might have actually had a chance. You know what I mean? It's because sometimes, you have to stand up to just your own temptation to want to be alone again anyway. I mean, some people would be like, well, no, I've never thought about going back once we got together. You can say that all you want to. We are energy. It may be contained in this human flesh, but it touches and it feels and it observes and it's seen. We are energy. It's okay to be attracted to someone else because people are attractive. It's okay that you saw someone and there was a spark. Like, I just can't see myself ever knowingly hurting someone. You know what I mean? If we're together, like and some people would be like, well, no, that's like in the old school patriarchal way. And as, women see men just like men see women and we should, whatever. I'm loyal. That's all. That's all. And I've never understood the people that are not. Like, have you no control over your desires or over your, like, how much do you have? Are you trying to, like, use it all up before it burns out or something? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, what is enough? I've been talking to myself about how I talk to myself lately and how I interact with myself. Like sometimes I catch myself, the times that I let myself be vulnerable, then it's like my shadow side starts picking on the other side. And I definitely feel like, you earned this shit and you better go ahead and say this and do that. And then the other part of me is like, but like, you're the evolved being and you know better. It's like, just because I'm not dwelling in my shadow side, there's some things that I do believe that need to be said. And so I'm usually loyal to that. And I share whenever I feel led to do so. Like, I absorb so much. I let people express so many things to me. Then, who is sending that signal to Earth? The pulse. Someplace or something has been transmitting it's a signal. It's a signal that has been detected that's coming from another place, and it's known. That's like saying someone's knocking on my door, and I hear the knock on the door, but I don't see anybody there. How could you not be freaked out? There's a rhythm, there's a pattern to it, and it's been going on for years now. Isn't that weird? I want to say it's scary. Like, I'm not so optimistic that I'm not grounded, and I know that it actually sounds scary to me. I just saw something that said oversharing is not just a bad habit, it's a coping mechanism, specifically for unhealed traumas, unaddressed, unhealed wounds. What say you? What do you think about that? So I was thinking about practitioners. The practitioner is not going to keep this lady from crashing in front of me, who is, oh my God. So in short, people go to practitioners to have different things done, and when you really consider, it's like, someone that has light in their heart and in their soul and their spirit, you do not want to manipulate someone else's destiny, someone else's life, someone else's future. You have to come from a very, an extremely selfish place, in my opinion, to ask, make so-and-so lose their job, make so-and-so fall out of love with so-and-so, make so-and-so the come back to me spells. Oh my God. Like, I've never wanted anyone so bad that I went through that, or had someone, and also never competed with anyone, but I damn sure, if I were competitive, which I'm not competitive, I can't even say that, because I can't wrap my brain around the idea of manipulating someone else's destiny for my own selfish purposes. Because oftentimes people will do that, will actually work against another individual for something that they desire. Just, it's a temporary desire that they have. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a person, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a boyfriend, maybe it's a child or a stepchild, or a step parent. It's just like when you really sit and you really think about it, like even when someone comes to you and says, well, so-and-so cheated with my significant other, or so-and-so, she made me or he made me lose my job, and so I want to bring all of this generational whatever to this person, right? Like, you have low vibrating people, spiritually manipulative people like that. But then you also have the practitioners. Maybe if you go to a practitioner that's willing to put a come back to me spell on someone that's in a marriage, I don't care how much power they say they have. A lot of times they will let you do things to get yourself in spiritual debt. And whoever is giving you counsel, let it be wise counsel. Let it be someone who, as soon as you start trying to vibrate low, they will tell you, like, hey, you shouldn't do that. This request has severe consequences. I mean, and granted, there are the people who will, they will take your money and they'll do whatever you have requested. They make that petition to the ancestors. They make it to whatever deity or God that is going to grant that request. And you're sitting there, like, you may have paid them in money, but they don't tell you that you pay in other ways. They don't suffer your debt, your soul's debt, for even initiating a spiritual transaction against someone else. They don't tell you about that. I was about to say something. I'm like, it's just like if you go and have any other type of, like, that's a spiritually illegal act. Just because people know how to do it doesn't make it legal. Just like if you actually commit a crime, in whatever city, state, country that you live in, it has its own, just because you didn't commit it yourself. If you know that someone else is doing something, has done something. Like, for instance, if someone cut you out of a will, if someone found a way to manipulate a will, that someone else entrusted something and left something to you, but someone else edited paperwork or had someone, like a close family friend, to notarize illegitimate documents, making it illegitimate. Just because you're not the one that actually did it, you gave the order. You put in the order for it to happen. You have the knowledge that it went on. So you will pay for that. You will be brought to justice. Or if someone was so nosy, it's like she or he, like, people think that you are so clean and they just get disgusted by it. I know that he or she is doing something wrong, or they're involved in blah, blah, blah. And they set up cameras and stuff like that in your house. They have you surveilled. They put stuff in your car. Like, that's illegal. They're going to pay. They're going to pay. If you are one of the ones doing that, you're going to pay. But I'm talking about the practitioners. I'm not talking about if you pray that you win the lottery, if you pray that you win at bingo, if you pray that you win on the slot machines when you go to Vegas. I'm not saying that. Like, that's a gamble that, you stand to win, and you winning does not hurt anyone else. So before you engage someone, the wolf, by whatever name, they're a spiritual hitman is how I see them. They're spiritual hitmen, people that would carry out bogus ass transactions because of, your status or money that you will have paid. Or again, they're doing you a favor, and they're going to cash in on that at a later time. You have that transaction thing that you do that manipulates someone else's life, someone else's fate. I'm so sorry that you're in a place where you're even thinking about it, where it's even an option in your mind. Because what if someone has done that to you, or is doing that to you, or would do that to you? That's why it's in all of my videos. I used to change the message in the will that's down there in my video. I used to change it all the time. Now I just keep it to be what you needed. Be what you need. You could have used somebody in your corner that can shoot straight with you. Someone that can tell you different things to help you on your journey. And everyone is on one. Everyone is on, even the people who claim that they've thrown in the towel. Nobody loves me. Nobody can love me. Nobody wants to work with me. Whatever. Then they find themselves surrounded by people who have it in their heart to help. Who have it in their heart to evolve you and to change your life. But that person that is thrown in the towel on themselves, they can have done that. And that's the thing about karma. It's like you sow karma by what you do to others. You also sow karma, good or bad, in how you respond. How you responded. That's how you can tell who's who. That's another thing. If you want to know the people who, you almost backed into somebody. Hold on, guys. So if you find someone who is just dumping negativity, negative energy, negative negative information, dirty tea, tainted tea about someone, and they're going 100 miles an hour talking about that person. And then when you see that person, if they're more than just nice. They come off like a frenemy maybe. Like, you got to pay attention to stuff like that, because the moment that I see them acting different than what they just expressed about someone, then they've told on themselves. You're just a quiet hater. This person doesn't even know that you don't like them while you're giving them fake smiles. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention, you can really tell who's who. So when you have someone that's just dumping negativity, like spilling all the so-called tea, right, and spiking it a little bit with their own little spin, right, like they're spiritual bartenders, right? You know how to spank. You know I almost said spank. You know how to tank the pot and tank the tea. And so the person will say a bunch of negative things, and the person that they're talking about, when it's their time to be with you, you don't hear them talking about anything about those dirty mouths, those other people that were talking about them. Like, you cannot discount things like that. For me, that's always been how I could tell who's who. I don't have to reveal to you that I see you and I know who you are, that I know that you are definitely an op. I don't have to tell people that. I just and it takes a lot of courage. You have to be grounded to do it. I let things play out. I'm not going to always stop someone and say, hey, I think you might have the wrong idea about me or about so-and-so. I just let things play out sometimes. Let me see what you're going to do with this opportunity to do the right thing. Let me see if you really, you may be coming off like a slimy frog, but you might not be. Most of the time they are. Like, I have so much to say about topics like this, because there's so many people that don't realize that they're selling their souls just to be in the know, or just to be a part of a circuit or a specific group, or just to have the favor of a group or of certain individuals. Maybe they felt, they came up kind of underdogish in their families. They came up underdogish in school. People that they need to prove things within themselves. It's like you are in silent competition with someone that ain't thinking nothing about you. You're over here quietly hating, not being able to stand somebody who you don't even know them enough to have formed an opinion. That means you formed an opinion in ignorance. And then you're walking around talking to people. There are plenty of people that have spoke on my name and said a bunch of stuff. And number one, I already knew it before. But when the people started to come to me to tell me, it happens even now. The people are like, hey, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah. And I was like, really? Because I have not spent any time at all with them ever outside of school, outside of work, outside of the small interaction when we volunteered at the same place, or outside of, wherever they've seen me once. And just for the record, if you're talking about people that you have not spoken to, like, you need to ask these people why they're blabbing 100 miles an hour, even to the practitioners, right? Because the practitioners are supposed to be discerning. There are penalties when you come at the wrong people for the wrong things. I am trying to tell you. You just have to be discerning. And when you ask them, and you should be asking, when was the last time you actually spent any time with this person to have had this interaction? How long has it been? If you're talking about somebody that you haven't seen in over a year, 2 years, you don't even know that person anymore. They've had a whole cycle completed. You had cycles that have been completed, and you just blab. Like, what are you even talking about at that point? You know what I mean? And then you would go and wage spiritual war on someone by getting with the practitioner to do voodoo or hoodoo or voodoo. Or even if I've had a team of evangelists to call me to try to cast a demon out. You ain't had no conversations with me. You talked to someone, a narcissist that was mad because I left him, and I left quietly, and because he couldn't stop thinking about me and was scared about some other stuff. He had a bunch of women to call me talking about, like, we on the phone and they trying to pray a demon out of me, and I'm like, you're out of your damn mind. I will never forget the ignorance that those evangelists, those elders demonstrated and reflected in calling me. I hung up in all their faces.